Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, dear new student of IPF 2020, we meet again on the next matriculation course. And here we try to discuss with you about introduction to accounting. Um, I do sure that all of you, when you were in Houston High School, you had learned before about accounting and other things related to accounting program. But here, let me just recall and remind you about the accounting introductions so that make you easy to join and follow the course that you will face during the next semester. Okay, here I think you have known already that the accounting is the process of recording, summarizing, reporting, and interpreting economic data for being used by users of information. So accounting basically tries to compile all informations that uh, everyone is needed in order to be interpreted in the context of economic policy. And who are the users of accounting informations? And here we have four parties that highly related with these users. The first is the investors. And the second one is the banks and suppliers. And the fourth, governments, employees, and trade unions. And the fourth one is management. But accounting basically is not only limited to these four users, because accounting is very fundamental aspect in reporting activities in all sectors. So accounting can be used by everybody here, including you as a personal human beings. And the fourth ones, okay, as if we talk about accounting, we talk about the content professions, or the one that really learn on accounting programs. And talking about accountant, we divide into two aspects. The first is internal accountant, namely accountants who works for a certain companies. So this internal accountants is related with the activities attached in the internal companies. And the second one is public accountants, whereby it refers to the accountants who provide services by getting an honorarium. It means that it is professional accountant that usually working outside of the companies. Somehow the companies invite them to be experts on giving some advices and maybe second opinions about the performance of the companies. And that one, what the sectors of specialization in accounting? So there are some specialization basically, and these sectors are learned in details by accounting department students. But for you, it is just information. Yeah, the first is about financial accounting, auditing, cost accounting, managerial accounting, tax, accounting system, budget, international accounting for non-profit institutions, social accounting, and accounting educations. So accounting basically is widely used in all aspects of economy. And the third one is, what is the accounting process? Accounting process is basically going through the financial statements, whereby these financial statements are the result of the process of accounting activities for a period of time. This process includes some aspects. The first is about recording. The second one is classifications. The third one is summarizations, and the fourth, reporting, and the last one is analyzing financial data from organizations. So all of these aspects are called accounting processes. And the next one is that what the type of organization of firm that really related with the accounting activities. The first is business entity or individual company. So this is considered as the very small and simple companies that everybody here can obtain or can own this kind of businesses. And the second one is the quite a bit bigger compared to the previous one, namely the firm and CV, yeah, commanditaire companies. So these companies actually will use accounting as well in order to recapitulate uh, the activities concerning the financial flows and also the spending and income during the managerial operations. And the third one is about the corporations. The corporation is quite a bit complex compared to the previous one, because in the corporate somehow invite so many owners, not only from internal but external ownership. For example, to stocks. Yeah? So corporate somehow release the stocks, either the private, either the common stocks or the specific stocks. So those are the type of organization of firms that are dealing with accounting activities. And we talk about accounting, of course, we also should learn about um, the equations of accounting and financial reports. Accounting equation is a condition in which asset owned must be equal with the debt liabilities plus capital equity. So if you recall what you learned before at senior high school, you learn about the accounting equations whereby the assets in the left-hand side of the balance sheet must be equal to the liabilities or debt plus the capitals or equities. So this is the common equation that every accountant must understand and try to match if they set up the reports. This one is the asset obligations and owners' capitals or liabilities. The first is about assets. Assets here owned by the companies are called activa, or maybe the equipments, yeah, like that, or account receivables. Yeah, those are the account that categories in the asset side. And the second one is liabilities. Liabilities means the expenses or the costs that incurred in the company's activities. And the last one is the equities, is the rights or claims on this asset of part of the equity and ownership of the firms. And this one is if we talk about the equity, they are divided into two. The first is the creditor's right, indicate the company's debt and are then called as liabilities. And the second one is the right of the owners, or the owners call owners equities. So in this regard, equity can be divided into two sources. The first is internal sources, namely the owners, and also the external equity coming from the creditors. And the next one about the financial reports, here that financial report statements can be in the form of balance sheet statements. And in the balance sheet, we divide into two statements. The first is about the income statements, a statement which shows income and expenses at the end of the accounting period, as well as the difference in profit and loss. So the difference between the income and expenses is conceived as the loss or profit. And the second one is capital statements, namely the report shows the change in initial capital due to additional capital coming in, profit or loss, and individual companies and dividends. So capital statement can be fluctuated over time due to the flows in and flows out uh, from the company operations. And next one, balance sheet. Balance sheet actually is a statement of financial positions that shows asset and liabilities and also the capital at a certain time. And there are two types of balance sheet: horizontal account and vertical account. So in detail, we will learn it during the course. And the fourth one is about cash flow statements. The cash flow statement or report is summary of the company's cash received and payment during a certain periods. And the cash flow, the cash inflows is a cash flow that occurs from transaction activities that give to cash gain or you receive a cash. And the other round is cash out, is the cash flow that occurs from transaction activity resulting in cash disbursement. So you disburse, you spend the money outside your companies. Okay, that's all, sisters and brothers. Just brief introduction to accounting course. Hopefully you can understand and take some benefit from this course. See you next. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.